The Inquisition has received an urgent request for aid from Orzammar. A subterranean earthquake has collapsed one of their lyrium mines and endangered several others. Even worse, tunnel seals preventing Darkspawn from overrunning the dwarven-occupied deep roads have crumbled, allowing hordes of the enemy to invade. Orzammar is a key provider of the Inquisition's lyrium supplies. As such, its security is top priority. The earthquake opened a fissure in the Storm Coast Mountains, granting access from the surface to the threatened region underground. Constructing a mining lift at the fissure site will permit the Inquisition to transport forces directly to where the Darkspawn fighting is fiercest. This is something that needs to be done quick. We probably need to go out there in force. A construction team arrived in the Storm Coast Mountains and set up a mining lift to transport Inquisition forces from the earthquake fissure's opening down into the deep roads. Report sent by messenger bird. Inquisitor, the mining lift in the Storm Coast Mountains will be finished by the time you get here. Anyone going into deep roads should dress accordingly. Don't skimp on the armor and bring the best weapons in Skyhold's arsenal. I also recommend packing plenty of dry rations. Most things down there will be looking to eat the Inquisition, not the other way around. Scout Harding. Alright. Seems pretty obvious we should take Varric. He's a dwarf and has experience in the deep roads. I think for that same reason we might take Blackwall, since he studied Darkspawn. So, let's see. Shall we take another mage, maybe? We don't have to, since we are a mage. Either a mage or a warrior. Let's have two warriors for once. I don't think we've done that very much on camera. So we'll take Iron Bolt.
Inquisitor, the workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No Darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any Darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
It's hardly the time for a lyrium shortage. Orzammar's mines need all the protection they can get.
I'd offer to go with you, but someone should keep watch. Plus, I could use the sun if this storm ever clears. The lift's ready for you. Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
That was a jolt.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King, really.
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
So, the deep roads. Do you think there'll be tight spaces? Long hallways with low ceilings?
Possibly. Why?
Just hoping my horns fit.
Always wondered if I'd die down here.
You're not dead yet.
The day's just starting.
My girl, Nofric, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trustful Inquisitor. The Shaper it welcomes you to the Deep Roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause and celebrate their own funerals before entering the Deep Roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
Well, we know why the Wardens didn't end up coming when they were asked to help. Unfortunately.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Yikes.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp.
Rather unfazed for just saving our life and almost dying herself.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses!
He's Batman.
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Man, that cooldown time for the
Charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
cooldown time for our firestorm is pretty hefty. I guess it's the price you pay.
Clear out the Darkspawn!
So it looks like we just have to wail on these enemies here for a while. Iron Bull needs to get revived again. Fortunately for us, we do specialize in area of attack, area of effect attacks, so we can deal with large hordes of weaker enemies pretty well. Chain lightning is pretty good, and our lightning cage works pretty well, especially now that we've leveled up. Especially now that we've leveled up. halfway there. Ah, now our firestorm will activate, so we'll wait to see if another wave shows up. Ouch. Oh, Iron Bull, you're on the ground again. Up you go, my friend.
That's got him on their heels. Keep it up! The seal's clear! Prime the charges!
Okay.
Now, set the charges!
It's 1, 2. Now we run for it. Doesn't even duck down. Must be our official badass for this quest.
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thetis to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
Oh, you two are so cute.
The Legion of the Dead has the Inquisition's full support.
That's the best news I've heard since the Quakes began. Actually, the only good news.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes? The rhythm in the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
How could an earthquake be caused deliberately?
We get plenty of natural tremors down here. These are different. She thinks she knows why.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity, but now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away, and there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense, and Vaulta's better than most. She never gets lost.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
I'm here to stop earthquakes from destroying the mines. I don't care what's causing them.
A woman of action. Good. For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
Okay, so now we can conduct operations in the deep roads now that we have a direct link via that lift. Aurora sounded like she was getting a little bit testy. I'm wondering if she has a little bit
So
of
it's true. The king involved
claustrophobia, maybe. Oh, I get it. It's like a mini war table. Alright. Gotcha. Okay, we want to go... Scroll through this. We want to go this way?
Oh, you clean it right.
What sod is that?
Another puzzle, maybe? Another thing to read here. Oh, yeah, it's one of these. Oh, yeah, I remember doing this one before. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, I think I want to move there. It's been a long time since I've done this particular logic puzzle. Oh, yeah, you can only put larger on smaller. That's right, that's right. Yeah. So... I can do this, I can do this. There we go. So that can move there. Okay, now let's see. Oops, staff went off again. Sorry, guys. No. There, 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 there. Oops. No, that's not what I want. Got it. Now move that there, Now we're cooking. Oops. No. That needs to go there, and then that needs to go there, and then that can go there. And this goes there, and that goes there, and that goes there. Yes.
Only a lyrium-addled mind would hide secrets behind such madness.
Or a game designer.
There's nothing left of them. Can't even tell who they were.
I'm sorry, Ren.
You joined the Legion knowing you're already dead. You don't fear the killing blow. We rest in the stone and pass our strength back to her. That's our reward. But the Darkspawn defiled these soldiers. They can't return to the stone. They'd only weaken her.
There must be some way to lay them to rest with honor.
We can burn the remains.
No. That's all we can do.
Yeah, normally dwarves bury their dead, as opposed to, at least I'm not sure if it's true for all. Well, I guess it's not true for all humans, because the Navarans bury their dead in the great necropolises as well. However, for Fereldans, it's always traditional for cremation.
Keep your mouth closed when fighting Darkspawn. Their blood's poison.
Thanks for the warning.
There was this Carter boy, Vaughn, who joined the Legion around the same time I did. Fast with daggers. Could poke 50 holes in a Hurlock before the Blighter knew what happened. Daggers are messy. Vaughn swallowed some spatter. Took him 3 days to die.
We need to work on your stories, Grizzly.
That's the last of those, Darkspawn. Legion's in your debt, Inquisitor.
Look at this, Ren. It's ancient. Maybe 1,000 years old.
Any idea who built it or why?
This Tig is on top of a lyrium mine. According to the memories, the mine was destroyed by some unexplained disaster. The miners must have used this lift to reach the lower levels.
Sounds familiar. If there is a Titan causing earthquakes, it's down there.
I found this book with the emissary. The pages are mostly ruined, but a few are readable. See this line? I awoke to the singing stone. Our kingdom trembled at the Titan's hymn.
That reference to Singing Stone. I've been told that raw lyrium has a sound.
A hum. The mining cast follows it to find lyrium veins. They say it's the stone calling to them.
Perhaps it wasn't chance that the quakes destroyed lyrium mines. Is it possible the Darkspawn or their emissary could also hear the song?
The stone would never call to those vile things. But that doesn't mean they can't hear her.
Darkspawn live and die by the Blight. They don't care for much else.
I didn't realize you knew so much about Darkspawn motives.
Not everything's a mystery, Volta. Some things are exactly as they appear.
And some things are not.
How can we be sure what the book says is true?
We shouldn't force connections that don't exist.
Perhaps this will change your mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsec Garal.
King Orsec Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? Maybe you are onto something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
Hey, challenging tradition lost you a cushy position in Orzammar.
Does a king's book mean that much to you, Ren?
Paragons are the best of our people. They don't hand that title out to just anyone. Not even a king. Knowing it was Geralt's book from the start would have saved us an argument.
As if you'd ever avoid an argument.
What does he mean you lost your position? I thought you were a Shaper.
Not all Shapers have the same duties. Mine were adjusted. When my superiors ordered me to remove an official record from the memories, I declined. We decided it would be best if I served the Shaperate here, finding history instead of recording it.
That record must have been important, to risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A childhood friend of King Balin had ancestral ties to the Carta. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
The Shaperate can erase official records. Aren't the memories permanent?
Sometimes erasing records is standard procedure. If a dwarf becomes castless, they're struck from the memories. But I was asked to change a fact that someone important merely found inconvenient.
If the Shaperate is willing to erase memories, what would prevent them from covering up the existence of Titans?
Why would they do that?
Because someone in power demanded it.
It takes courage to challenge authority.
I suppose you would know. Some believe the past is what we make it. But we gain nothing from ignoring mistakes.
Wise words.
I'm sorry I brought it up. The earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way. Get ready.
Okay. Well, I finally made it back, or made it through, I should say, all those waves of Darkspawn. It was quite the battle. And I actually had to go back and change my party, because the one I had just wasn't quite tough enough to make it through all those waves at once, because you can't save or anything. You have to go through them all like an endurance round. So I changed my party to my two strongest defenders, Cassandra and Blackwall, and then I also brought in Solus to support with barriers and healing. And that made the fight go much, much smoother than it had been. Alright, so I think we have, is it 3 more levels to go? Yeah, 3 more levels to go. You may have noticed already looking through this video that it's heavily edited, and that's simply just because this DLC is really, really heavy on the combat. And so I just have to kind of, every now and then, do a big leap forward to the next story point. I have to say, I like this new theme music they have for this particular DLC. If I had my way, I might adopt that as the theme of the dwarves in Thedas. It's got that nice amount of grandeur to it.
What was that?
What was what?
Something moved. There. Light a torch.
So I can see us coming? Just stay close.
Oh, we get to fight in the dark now. Oh, this will be fun.
Stay together. It's easy to get lost down here.
We've gone past the deep roads.
How can you tell? It's pitch black.
I can feel it.
Show yourselves!
Ren!
Not at all.
No!
These almost look like dwarves. What are they doing down here, though?
You deserved better. Ren never wanted this life. He was a cobbler, a good one. He joined the Legion to pay his father's debts. It kept his mother and brother from losing their caste. The poor and desperate here often sacrifice themselves for their family's future.
Ren was a good man. We'll honor his sacrifice.
He always seemed indestructible. The armor on these warriors. There's lyrium woven directly into the metal, and it's bonded to their skin. Impossible to remove, but I know what we'd find underneath. These are dwarves. Ren was killed by our own kind.
If they're fellow dwarves, why did they fight us?
They never spoke a word. No warning, no demands, just violence. I won't leave Ren like this. We must return him to the stone. Thrust Tonsha Saroka. I'll see this through, Ren. I promise. Anything standing between us and the Titan will regret it.
So we say goodbye to Ren. Such is the fate of all who join the Legion of the Dead, unfortunately.
This is like the Wall of Memories in Orzammar, but ancient. Very ancient. The words seem based in Dwarven, but I barely recognize this dialect.
Can you translate any of it?
Only fragments. The language is very different from what we speak today. This word keeps appearing. Shah Brital. I believe it means revered defenders.
That's quite a long stewardship.
They attacked us because they're protecting something. Satanal. Satanal. Cut our tongues, entomb our bodies, watch over the Titan until it stirs. So the warriors who attacked us must be the Shabertal, and they're protecting a Titan.
Are you all right, Voltaire?
I can hear Ren's objections. Let's keep moving. If more of these memories exist, they may have the answers we need.
I think at this point, Aurora may be more convinced that the Titans actually do exist. Of course, as players, we know they have to exist, otherwise the ending of this mission would be rather anticlimactic.
Look there, more ancient carvings.
Aye, but these seem to be about the Titan. It shapes the stone. It is the stone. It sculpts the world within and without.
Wouldn't something that can sculpt the world have to be rather enormous?
It is called a Titan.
True enough.
So it's a shaper of the stone, like you.
This implies that the Titans are actually sculptors, and our world is their clay.
If Titans shaped the stone, could they have actually created it?
The stone must have existed first.
Then the Titans would be the very first children of the stone.
That would have huge implications for my people.
More memories, more Shabertal. We must be getting close to a Titan. Your theory about the source of the quakes is looking more like fact.
But if this is true, how could it be missing from the memories of Orzammar? Why would someone erase such an integral part of our history?
Let's answer that after we stop the earthquakes.
The rhythm is louder than ever. We're close. The attacks are getting worse.
We must be getting close to whatever they're protecting.
Only the pure may pass. All others will be punished. Assuming the Shabertal are the pure,
we're the others who aren't allowed to pass.
Could the earthquakes be the punishment?
You found Paragon Garal's book near a damaged lyrium mine. And the new earthquakes destroyed your mine.
But why would they want to destroy the lyrium mines?
I wonder what makes the warriors pure.
They do wear sealed armor to protect themselves from impurities?
Titans, the Shabertal. This could be more than anything we expected.
For all the Shaperit's knowledge, I know so little. This reads like a final warning. We must be nearing the source.
Alright, that's the next level completed. And so, we're about to enter the final bottom level. Hopefully we'll be able to finally meet this strange Titan. There's a lot of light coming from here.
Did the Shabertal build all this?
Or was it here before them?
Now that is impressive.
Nothing should surprise me anymore. But this... Wait. The rhythm we followed. We have found the source. But not the Titan.
How would we even recognize a Titan? All we know is that they're enormous.
We've found the Titan. We're standing inside it.
What do you mean, inside?
Think back to when we left the ruined Tig. I could feel that this wasn't the Deep Roads. The Shabratal attacked because we invaded a place only the pure are allowed to enter. The body of the Titan. If I don't survive, Orzammar must know the truth.
I won't fall while Corypheus is still a threat.
Interesting. Well, that would explain, or at least give us some idea of how big the Titan is.
Someone help!
We've actually been walking through it for a while.
Look, these are the only memories in this area. That phrase is the path of purity. And there's a reference to Titan's blood? It says the Shabratal come here to drink it.
The Titan's blood must keep the Shabratal alive and powerful.
But where is it? Unless... Lyrium. The Titan's blood is lyrium.
Every nation on the surface buys lyrium. Orzammar's entire economy is based on the trade.
This is bigger than any one nation.
We have to stop this!
So does that mean that all lyrium is the Titan's blood? That would be interesting. And might explain why the dwarves tried to erase that knowledge. Ah, this brings back memories. I remember when Hawk had to fight a lyrium golem kind of like this.
Volta, are you hurt?
Too loud. The song.
Stop!
What was that?
I am... It's all right.
It looked like you were hit by raw lyrium during the battle.
Yes, it should have poisoned me, but I feel fine. Good, even.
You said the song was too loud. It was hurting you.
It was... chaos. The rhythm I followed here, but magnified, overwhelming. But it is gone.
You almost killed me. What happens the next time you lash out?
I am in control. I would never harm you, Inquisitor.
You cast some kind of spell. That shouldn't be possible.
It wasn't a spell. It was... an accident. Everything will be fine.
Huh. A dwarf that can use magic. Was this new, or could she have done this before and she just didn't want anyone to know?
We should get help. You may be injured or...
I feel better than I ever have. Stronger, more alive. The stone is silent. The rhythm has faded, and so have the tremors. But the song still echoes. It tells me things. The breach, that's what disturbed the Titan. It is calm now that it has a connection with one of its children. With me.
Was that the Titan? Did we kill it?
The Titan lives. This was an echo. A guardian. But you silenced it.
Is this what happened at the Tig, where you found Paragon Garal's book?
Aye, but I do not know what disturbed the Titan then. The song may tell me. In time.
You said you were a child of the stone, not a child of the Titans.
I am not certain what I am. But the Titan recognized me. Like a parent hearing its child's voice.
The Titan changed you, Volta. You need to be cautious.
I am different, but I am still a Shaper. Isana. It's our word for lyrium, and we are taught that it is a gift from the stone. But there's so much more to it than we ever imagined. I was sent to the deep roads to recover lost history. This is only the beginning. I am staying here.
The Sharbratol killed Lieutenant Wren, and they're still down here. Aren't you afraid?
No. I am pure. I can defend myself.
That sounds a bit ominous.
The Titan is only the beginning. What else could there be?
The deep roads are filled with wonders. Answers to questions we haven't thought to ask.
If you stay here, where will you live? What will you eat?
I have my stone sense, and now so much more. I'll be safe.
You have much more confidence than I would have.
In all of Thedas, you're the first dwarf ever to command the power of magic. Your help would be invaluable.
I have no place on the surface. That world is yours to save, not mine. The mine's collapse, Ren's death. It all happened to bring me here.
After all we have seen, you wish to be alone to commune with this creature?
Who could she harm down here besides herself?
I am called to the Search Inquisitor. This is where I belong.
I'm leaving with more questions than answers, but that doesn't mean you have to. Just be careful. The Shaperate in Orzammar will want to know what happened to you.
Tell them the truth. You don't know.
Let's go.
She always comes back. Pay up, Soroka.
A vote of confidence from our scout. Oh, we got a lot of influence on that. Alright. Well, I have to say that was a very interesting piece of DLC, now that I've actually played it for the first time. What I liked about it would be, well, definitely the visuals. Some of the places we went down and saw were absolutely beautiful. And also the music was very, very good as well. Outstanding, even in a soundtrack that I like very much in general. Music was particularly awesome. Stuff that I didn't like, well, the story was a little so-so. As was kind of stated at the very end, we left with more questions than answers. We still really don't know what the purpose of the Titan is, or, you know, what it's doing down there. Is it the ultimate source of lyrium? Is it powered by lyrium? You know, none of that has any resolution. And man, it's really hard getting through the story just because of all the fighting. The difficulty level was quite high. You may not even want to try this DLC until you're at least my level, which was about 19, and that was hard enough. Alright, so I'm just going to level up my heroes here, and then we will go back to the surface.